Sasha and I are going for a walk in the park. She wants to feed the deer. Do you want to come?
I've been reading the Jewish Chronicle.
So, why did you come with us, Esther? Get some fresh air.
Okay, Dad. Okay, I'll join you. Just go on ahead. Wait at the bird pond.
Why does Mummy cry so much, Grandpa?
Well, it's since you got back from Israel, darling, your Uncle David has been called up into the army to fight the Arabs in the new war. Mummy wants us to wait here.
What are they fighting about?
Oh, basically, Sasha, it's about land. The Jews say the land of Israel belongs to them. They were there first. The Arabs say, no, it's theirs.
Well, if the Jews were there first, then it should be theirs.
Yes, but the Jews were there 2,000 years ago. Then most of them left and the Arabs were there instead.
You're teaching our history to the little girl.
Yes, my granddaughter.
I'm just going to feed the deer.
All right, darling, that's okay.
It's good she wants to know about the past.
She wants to know about everything. Fortunately, I'm retired, so I have time to tell her.
Do you mind if I join you for a moment?
Please do.
My father was a Palestinian, so I grew up hearing that history.
My name is Solomon. I'm Jewish. I hope that's not a problem.
No. My name is Salim.
People call me Solly. I must confess, I know very little about Palestine.
Well, there's plenty written about Palestine. Not so much about the Palestinians.
Perhaps that's the problem.
I've tried to fill the gap with a book I've written.
Oh, about Palestine? Oh, I'd like to read it.
Where's Sasha?
She's gone to look at the deer. Salim, this is my daughter Esther. Esther, this is Salim. We've just met.
Salim, how do you do?
Salim has written a book about Palestine.
Oh, you're Palestinian then?
I am.
And is it finished? Your book?
It is, yes.
Found a publisher then?
Actually, yes. It is stocked at the local high street bookshop.
Congratulations. You shouldn't have let Sasha go. Not by herself, Dad. Who is that man, Sasha, sitting next to Grandpa?
I don't know, Mum. Why?
Didn't like the look of him.
But he looked very nice.
Hey, you can't tell, Sasha. Even here in Golders Green, you have to be careful. Okay?
Okay.
Good girl.
I must stretch my legs. Do you have time for some tea at the cafe?
I do, yes.
Thank you.
What's your view on the Arab-Israeli war? Could we discuss it, or would we disagree too much?
Well, I hope we'll be mature enough to keep our tempers.
There are other things we can talk about.
It's true, but we have this in common.
Sadly, yes.
Right, well, let me say something that goes, for us, to the heart of this issue. It's the Holocaust.
We all know about that. We were taught it at school. The mass slaughter of the Jews, the political prisoners, the homosexuals.
But Salim, we lost 6 million. It made us think, Salim. Before the Jewish uprising in the Warsaw Ghetto, we hadn't fought back. Now things had to change. Zionist leaders like Ben-Gurion, Yitzhak Rabin, they were determined that we should defend ourselves because we couldn't depend on anyone else. Jewish youth, they'd say, learned to shoot.
Can I just make one comment?
Of course.
The Holocaust. It was the Germans who did it, not the Palestinians. We had nothing to do with it.
We never blamed you. We were fighting the Arab armies.
That's true, but you took our land.
Yes. Zionism has always looked to Palestine as the Jewish homeland. Next year in Jerusalem, it's at the heart of our religion.
No doubt it made more sense to the Zionists. It made no sense to us.
Yes, I understand. But don't we have to live with things as they are now, today?
And just dismiss the past?
But it's only in the present that problems can be solved.
But the past is part of the present. For you, it's the Holocaust. For us, the Nakba. We may share the present, but our memories are different.
Isn't that absolutely the problem, Salim? Israel's version of the past is very different from the Palestinians' version. Almost the opposite. Let's take a walk in the walled garden. It's absolutely lovely.
Good idea. You know, the most significant thing about Zionism is their complete denial of the Palestinians. Take the first Zionist slogan. It described Palestine as a country without a people.
For a people without a country. And of course, the turning point, the British promised to endorse the creation of a Jewish state in Palestine.
Lord Balfour. Would you like to know what the proportions were between the Palestinian population and the Jews when Israel was founded?
Yes, I would, yes. Let's sit down.
In 1948, there were twice as many Palestinians as Jews, 65% to the Jewish, 33%.
Are you sure? I thought it was the other way around.
Ben-Gurion decided that a truly Jewish state couldn't contain more than 20% Palestinians. Somehow the rest of them had to leave. And that's when the ethnic cleansing started, what we call the Nakba, the disaster.
Salim, look, it wasn't ethnic cleansing. The Palestinian leadership told people to leave their homes, and they did, hundreds of thousands.
This Soli is the official Israeli version. In fact, they fled to avoid the Jewish army and the right-wing militia, the Stern Gang in Ergun.
I don't think so. The villagers fled because their leaders told them to.
Look into it, Soli. You'll find that 500 Palestinian villages were razed to the ground. Hundreds of villagers were killed. The notorious Stern Gang massacre at Deir Yassin. Creating fear and panic was the only way to get the Palestinians to leave.
That, I can't accept that this was a deliberate strategy.
That you can't accept? Then ask yourself this. Why, when the villagers allowed back in their homes after the war was over, why destroy their villages? Why confiscate their land? Why? Why make them refugees? Why? Why is that people around the world claiming to be of Jewish descent were allowed in Israel and settled there? Why?
That was the only way to ensure that Israel was a Jewish state.
Exactly. And isn't that a deliberate strategy? Those were brutal times, Soli.
I'm sorry, Salim. I have to use the toilet. You were right, Salim. Those were brutal times. People had just seen the terrible pictures of Auschwitz, Dachau, Belsen. Living skeletons, piles of corpses. They learned the true horror of the death camps. The creation of a safe Jewish home was now essential. Ben-Gurion felt that those dreadful things, the things you mentioned, those things had to be done. Tell me about your book, Salim.
It started as a history of my family, but then the publisher thought it would be better as a history of the Palestinians.
Why?
Well, in the 90s, a new openness emerged in Israel, a willingness to look into the Jewish state. And of course, they wanted to look at the Palestinians again. You've heard of the new historians?
I've heard of Benny Morris, and I know they challenged the official history.
He was one of the more prominent, but there were others. And then that gave rise to the post-Zionism.
That too, I've heard of, and I've avoided it, ignored it. Israel has acquired an almost sacred status. We believe in it. We have faith in it. I wouldn't risk being thought of as a critic, a so-called self-hating Jew.
Excuse me, we're looking for the leg of mutton pond.
Oh, just carry on. When you come to the exit, it's right in front of you.
Many thanks.
Could I ask you a question?
Please do, we're in no hurry.
I'm sure you often think about Israel. Do you worry about its future?
Sam's not too worried. I am. We have friends there, they're all worried.
Does it worry you less to hear them saying that Israel has the strongest army in the Middle East?
I hope that's true. I still worry though.
What do you think could happen?
Well, Israel has so many enemies, millions, all hoping for its destruction.
Sarah's right, of course, but even in 1948, when Israel's army was almost non-existent, we fought off the combined Arab attack. I don't think any Arab country would try it now. Well, all best.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, why is it that Jews worry so much when, as Sam said, there's really nothing to worry about?
Why do we worry? Force of habit. We've always had plenty to worry about. Have you heard the joke about the telegram?
Tell me.
Son sends his mother a telegram. Mum, he says, start worrying. Details to follow.
He doesn't want to worry about it. Deluded. Okay, that's a bit strong. He's just a dedicated optimist.
We made some bad mistakes. Let down by our leaders.
Really?
Yeah. Our leaders were all wealthy landowners, Palestinian aristocracy, and some were supporters of fascism, of Mussolini, and then Hitler.
The Grand Mufti of Jerusalem.
You've heard of him?
Of course. He visited Hitler during the Second World War.
Yes, he did. And the Israeli keep telling the story as if we were all Nazis. In 1947, the worst mistake, we boycotted the UN committee investigating the future of Palestine.
Is that how the Zionists got the UN resolution they wanted?
The partition resolution? Yes, I think so. Gurion was very clever. He said they should accept it. He said they could enlarge the Jewish state afterwards. So he introduced conscription. And soon they had a well-trained army with tanks and heavy weapons.
The Israel Defense Force.
They were more than a match for the invading Arabs. Esther.
Yes?
Dad, Miss Sasha with you?
No.
She's disappeared. I was on the phone for a few minutes and now she's gone. She could have been kidnapped.
Okay,
Dad.
don't panic. We'll find her. Esther's lost Sasha. She sounds desperate. I think she's afraid that Arab terrorists have kidnapped her. I said we go and help, but I'm so slow. Would you mind going ahead of me? Sure.
Sasha. Sasha. Your mother's worried about you.
I'm just picking some flowers.
Your granddad's looking for you too.
Mummy didn't like it. You talking to him.
Or why not?
She doesn't like you.
Well, if she knew me, she might.
I told her you look nice.
Thank you, Sasha. I agree. I think I am. Yalla حبيبتي.
I was so worried. I thought you'd been kidnapped.
I was just picking you some flowers.
Well done, Salim.
She was in no danger.
Thank you. We better take her home now.
Good. It was a great pleasure talking to you, Salim.
It was.
Here's my phone number. Let's meet again.
And the book. I'll give you a copy.
Yes, please.
You take care.
You're reading Salim's book.
I am. I'm impressed.
So what does it say? What's interesting?
He says that the Palestinians are descended from the Jews of ancient Palestine.
And you believe him?
Yes, I think I do. He says the genetic research supports that. All right, listen to this. The peasants of Judea continued to live on their lands even after the destruction of the Second Temple. Some converted to Christianity, but the majority kept their faith as Jews. It was only in the 7th century, after the Arab conquest, that they became Muslim. Listen to this. Come on. The early Zionist thinkers were aware of this. David Ben-Gurion, for instance. Before Israel was founded, he stated several times that the peasants of Palestine were descendants of the Jews of Judea.
Dad, just because Salim wrote that book, it doesn't mean he's right.
Have a look at it, Esther. It's interesting. There was another thought I had. There were two sides to our Zionism, two sides. One side was our escaping from the pogroms, the vicious anti-Semitism spreading through Europe. It was like Exodus, when Moses brought us out of Egypt.
Absolutely.
But there was another side.
Oh, there were always other sides, several of them.
Will you please give your old man a hearing? This is important. Our occupation of the land of Israel when it was already occupied. And to most of us that seemed just.
Yeah.
It seemed right. The promised land. But the rest of the world it didn't. We were seen as white colonial settlers seizing land from the natives.
Sorry. Colonial settlers? Us? It's just rubbish.
To you it may seem like that, Esther, but what if you were Palestinian?
Don't they know about the Holocaust? Don't they understand?
Yes, they understand about the Holocaust, but to them it's a European tragedy. They had their own. We had the Holocaust, they had the Nakba. They know about the Holocaust. Almost none of us have ever heard of the Nakba.
Okay, Salim is getting to you, Dad. This book, it's just his view. Israel is our country, and they want to destroy it. Dad. Dad, you're the only person I know who isn't worried about Israel.
That's because you all worry too much. Israel has one of the world's best defense systems. Iran can launch hundreds of drones and missiles, but none of them get through. Israel is backed by the world's greatest superpower.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Israel has one of the world's most powerful armies, ranked 4th in the world after the USA, China, and Russia.
Okay, that's probably true.
Israel could take a new approach to its neighbors.
What do you mean?
Stop talking war, start talking peace. Acknowledge that the Palestinians lost their land, lost their homes. A prosperous Israel could help create a prosperous Palestine. Our reward would be lasting peace and harmony.
Oh, that's just wishful thinking, Dad.
Is it? Israel made peace with Egypt, with Jordan, the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan. Oh, maybe you're right, Esther. It is wishful thinking, but it's what we all should be wishing for. How else do we stop this cycle of violence? It's gone on for too long. It hurts the people being occupied. It hardens them, but it hurts us as well.
How can you say that?
How can I say that? I see it happening. I see my daughter coming back from a visit to Israel, seeing my son there at war, and she can't stop weeping.
It's true, Dad. It's true, I can't.
The initiative will have to come from the Israelis. They can't put up with this forever.
You're talking about Netanyahu?
No. He'll be gone. I'm talking about the Israeli people.